Welcome to Ace in Life, episode 1. Coffee with. Oh, no, no, no. A more enriching and enlightening blend. Coffee with an ace. And let me tell you right now, as you get ready for the thrilling kickoff of our coffee session saga, this may be the first episode, but brace yourselves for an epic journey ahead. Wait till the end because the suspense is going to leave you craving for more. Stay tuned, as this is just the beginning of a series that promises excitement with every sip. As a parent, a grandparent, and a teacher, I've always, and I bet most of the parents here and teachers here will always accept this fact. We've always been torn apart between sports and academics, dance and academics, co-curricular and curricular, extracurricular and curricular, always between this and that. But then comes across a person who doesn't say this or that. She says this and that. Yes, she's a brown belt in karate, has authored and published 5 books, runs her own podcast. And if all this were not enough, my friends, she excels in academics. And how? I am thrilled to introduce to you today a truly exceptional individual who has not only achieved academic excellence, but has also exemplified the spirit of holistic education. We are honored to have with us today ICSE 10th Board All India second rank, Akshaya Sutrave of the VIBGYOR High School, Bengaluru, a brilliant mind and a beacon of inspiration for all aspiring learners. Let me tell you, in the world of academics, Akshaya has not only conquered the intricacies of textbooks, but has also mastered the art of applying knowledge to real-life scenarios. Her outstanding performance in the ICSE 10th board exams is a testament to her dedication, resilience, and intellectual prowess. So without further ado, let's welcome Akshaya with the warmth and applause she truly deserves. We are eager to learn from her experiences and be inspired by the extraordinary journey that has led her to this pinnacle of success. Welcome, Akshaya. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here today. Hello, everyone.
Hello to you all too. Well, Akshaya, first across the VIBGYOR group of schools and All India Rank 2 in the 2023 ICSE board exams. What an achievement. Akshaya, let's go back to the day of the results. What did you expect? What were your feelings when you saw the result? Come on, Akshaya, take us back. Let's start the journey.
Sure, sir. So the day was 14th May 2023. I remember the exact date. And I had calculated and expected 99%. I had calculated my expected marks so meticulously that all I could think about was whether I had overestimated or underestimated or what reality would actually be. I even set up a reaction video which recorded me opening up the window and then seeing my reaction. And then when I saw the numbers, I refreshed the screen. I saw a bunch of 99s and 100s and 98, 97. For a moment, I was like, have I overestimated? Am I not going to get 99? But then when I put it in the calculator, because I was too nervous to do it mentally, I put it in the calculator and saw 99.6. And that was probably the happiest moment of my life.
99.6, Akshaya. And I think in my time, I could dream of just the reverse, 69.9. Okay, jokes apart. English language, 97. I'm just beginning that. English literature, 100, the perfect score. Maths, 100. Science, that means physics, chemistry, and biology, 99. Pinch me, Akshaya. Is this for real?
That's what I thought when I saw it too.
It's so amazing. I just want to know, how could a person who is excelling in maths and science, I mean 100 in maths and a 99 in physics, chemistry, biology combined, how could a person doing that, I mean, manage both at the same time? At one end, you have the Merchant of Venice, you have Shakespeare, who says, "What's in a name?" But William Shakespeare, with all due apologies, today I can say there is something in a name, Akshaya Sutrave, right? So, I mean, where you have so many allusions in the literature section, questions that could come anyway, anyhow. 16 marks MCQs from the entire book and the drama, and yet you score 100 on 100. What's with you?
Sir, it was just that during prelims, I used to lose a lot of marks in silly mistakes, and I worked on my weaknesses. And I wasn't scared of exams at the end. I just took it on as a challenge. And then I wanted that 100. I believed in myself. I wanted nothing but 100 in those subjects.
So that's an important message we are sending Akshaya, right? Because today you are being watched by so many young minds and their parents and teachers. This is an important message you're sending. Believe in yourself. I like that.
Yes, sir, that's the main thing you have to do.
Amazing. Okay, now for a few seconds, let us regard with discreet scrutiny a learning of great value from a great epic, the Mahabharata. I mean, whether I am a Parsi, I am. By the way, my name is Behram, and so I know it's too late in the day to introduce myself, but yes, you can definitely see my name there. My name is Behram, and I'm a Parsi, Hindu, maybe Jain, Muslim, Christian. Nobody in India has not heard of the Mahabharata. And two important things that we know from the Mahabharata are the two most important groups of people in the success of a student, and that's the parents and the teacher. You will say, "Sir, parents and teachers and Mahabharata." Let me explain this to you. Right? Think about it. The mother, there was Kunti and there was Gandhari. Gandhari, in spite of having vision, blindfolded herself. Her reasons may have been noble, but don't you think she was then blinded to the faults of her sons, especially Duryodhan? On the other hand, Gandhari, Kunti, was absolutely bang on, and she was always alert to each and everything that her children were doing. Talking about teachers, whenever the Kauravas had something or some problem which they would have to take care of, what would they do? They would go to their backup, to their coach, Shakuni Mama. The Pandavas, their coach, their mentor, Lord Krishna himself. And there lies the difference. Am I right, Akshaya? Yes,
Yes,
Akshaya.
yes, sir, you are right.
So, Akshaya, now coming to the two sets of people. First, the parents. Let's know something about them. Come on, tell me about your parents.
My parents are software engineers. They completed their MTech, and my mom used to work as a professor in the New Horizon College of Engineering. Then she moved on to software, and my dad is a senior technical lead at Cisco Systems.
Okay, so and both BTechs or MTechs?
They did BTech and then moved on to MTech. They've done both.
Fantastic. So, coming from a family of engineers, tell me, how did your parents motivate you to be who you are today?
My parents, there's a lot I owe my parents for what I am today. The first thing is they always encourage whatever I used to do, not just related to science and math, but also literature. They are also why I have written books. I'm an author today because of their encouragement. They encouraged me in everything and they believed in me too.
Great. Before we move on to your teachers, coming to that authorship of yours, it's not something that we see every day that a student in the 11th standard who has excelled in academics has also authored and published 5 books. Let's talk about that, Akshaya.
Yes, sir, sure. So, ever since I was 5 years old, I always wanted to have something published. In the beginning, it was just cartoons, but then when I became like 9 and 10, I thought I would have to write novels. So, in sixth grade, I started writing what would be my first novel. I did 2 drafts, and then 90,000 words later, I wrote my first novel and published it. And after that, I haven't turned back.
Terrific. That's amazing. So, 5 novels published, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Akshaya, um, just going back a little bit, what about the karate stuff? I mean, a brown belt in karate. Are you trying to scare me?
No, of course not, sir.
So, let's talk about that. How did that happen?
I started karate in fourth grade. I used to attend classes twice a week, and that was just an extra thing aside from school that I used to do.
Fantastic. And when did you get your brown belt?
I got my first like brown four in sixth grade and brown three, brown. I'm in brown one. I need to go to black belt.
So, are you going to go for the black belt?
Yes, sir. I need to continue karate after 10th grade. I left it for a bit.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So, that's to do with your parents and your publishing and your brown belt moving to black belt. Now, let's talk about your teachers. What
Yes.
was their contribution?
My teachers had a great contribution in whatever success I got. It's not just the teachers who taught me last year, but the teachers who taught me throughout my academic life because they shaped me up and made me what I am. I spent 7 hours a day in school and then I interact with these teachers, and because they treat me as a person and when even aside from academics and in academics, they supported me a lot.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Um, so, Akshaya, I am told, I want to just verify this with you. I've been told that you did not go for tuition.
Yes, sir, that's true.
So, I really want to know how could you manage this 99.6%, right? Just a 0.4 away from the perfect score. How could you manage that without a single tuition?
Okay, so the thing about tuitions is that it is just an extra part. You don't have to go for tuitions. It depends upon you. Like if you're willing to put all the effort at home, 10th boards can be managed and you can succeed in 10th boards by doing self studies completely. You have school, you can take the help of all your teachers, you have support at home, and then if you self study, you can do really well even without tuitions.
Okay, so is that, Akshay, one of the reasons why you chose the VIBGYOR ACE program in the 11th standard?
Yes, sir, that's a major reason.
So could you tell us something about that? What has been your experience? What is the VIBGYOR ACE program and what's been your experience there? Come on, let's hear it from you.
The VIBGYOR ACE program is a 2 year integrated course for the competitive exams like JEE, CET, and NEET, wherein the teachers, the trainers for those exams come to school and teach you everything starting from the basic board syllabus and the competitive syllabus. They clarify all your doubts, and then you finish everything from that 8 a.m. to 3 o'clock slot without having to go to classes anywhere else. And when you come back, you also have a 1 hour doubt clearing session where you can ask all your doubts to your heart's content and get them clarified.
So you mean to say that when you come back from your 11th standard schooling, right? You come back home and then there is a doubt solving session for you. Akshay, could you hear me?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Are you telling me that there is a doubt solving session once you come back home after finishing your with your 8 hours?
Yes, sir. That's an extra session, like 1 hour in the evening in case you have any doubts or need practice.
And that session is held every evening for you?
Every weekday, and on Saturdays we have extra, like in the morning as well.
This is something amazing. I haven't heard of a college or a curriculum or any pedagogy, including this. This is something fantastic, right?
It is.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Akshaya, since engineering runs in the family, right? Uh, what exactly are you looking at post 12th? The reason I'm asking this, Akshaya, is that there are many students right now watching you, right? Nobody is watching me. Don't worry about that. They are all watching you and they all want to know what you are doing because maybe they would like to follow suit. We've always played follow the leader. Yes, Akshaya.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to do a course in astrophysics or in computer science, which I will decide later. I will narrow it down later with a minor degree in literature because I love literature as well.
Okay, so literature is not going anywhere. Well, Akshaya, let me tell you, as a teacher of English and French, I am happy to know that, right? That even somebody who is going to go into science, right, and make a career in engineering is not shying away from keeping literature going as a hobby. Great. That's really amazing. Akshaya,
Yes,
um, I remember you talking about STEM, right? So, could you give us some information? Because, as I said, there are students who are today on the brink of one, the board exams, and two, on the brink of maybe choosing a career for themselves. So, Akshaya, talk about that.
so STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and it's basically a branch of study that deals with all science, engineering. You see science everywhere around you, from if the phone to the internet to doctors to everything. Like basically, the way even a door opens is governed by science. So this is a stream of study which focuses on developing these aspects so that humanity can benefit from it.
Okay. So, and like we know about brain drain. We've heard about it since the time we were kids, right? And that was a long, long, long time ago. So, are you planning to go abroad and make a career, or are you planning to stay here for the country?
Sir, while that is definitely an option, I think I will stay here for the time being. I might go abroad, but that depends on what the future brings.
Okay. So, you are definitely quite sure that right now, as of right now, you are going to be here and give your best to the country.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Akshaya, um, before you sign off, I just want you to know that there are so many messages and coming for you, and there's so much love and respect coming your way, right? I want you to realize that you are really a role model for so many youngsters out there. And before, as I said, before you sign off, I want you to give a message, something for our youngsters, something for the next batches that are going to go through what you have gone through. Let's hear it from you, Akshay.
Okay, so sure. So everyone, like I would start with boards because that's what's coming up. Boards is just another set of exams. Don't be terrified, don't be scared. I know people say boards, 10th, 12th and all that, but it's just like your school exams, and if you're confident and if you know that you have studied well, like and you are confident, you will do very well in it. You don't have to be a superhuman, you don't have to have any special powers to do well in it. Just believe in yourself.
Terrific. So that's with the board, right? And throughout Could you give them some tips? You see, Akshaya, we are in the month of January. In fact, exactly almost halfway through the month of January. And now, with the board exams approaching, some tips on what should they do in the last 1 to 1.5 months before the boards.
Yes, sure. In the last 1 month, there are different categories of students. So there are students like some of you who are like sure with the syllabus, who have studied well for the pre-boards and prelims, and who have almost fine-tuned their knowledge about the syllabus. And there are also students who may not have read the entire thing properly and who might have a few more weak areas. So for both of you, like both kinds of students, the main thing is to focus on understanding the concepts. Like when you understand it, just don't, I know people like they say memorize by heart and all that, but that doesn't work much. So you have to understand, make intricate notes. Don't write everything down. Like when you read a page, you look away, you recall, you do chunking, where you just think the say the information to yourself in your own words so that it sticks in your brain. And then when if there's some weakness or some doubts, just write it down so that you can get it clarified or work on that aspect. You also, like, you can keep a track of what you're doing every day. Go by quantity and not by go by quality and not by quantity. Like people say 12 hours, 16 hours, but instead of focusing on the number of hours you put every day, just see the number of tasks you cover per day. Like how many chapters have I improved on today? How many concepts have I had progress in? And that helps even better.
Oh my God.
Papers.
Fantastic. So, two important things here, Akshaya, that you've just said. One is different strokes for different folks. Everybody should not be, I mean, if you are at a particular percentage, the first thing is that you need to rise from there to the next level. I
Yes,
get that very, very well. Right? And the second thing that you spoke about, Akshaya, was quality above quantity. That seemed amazing, right? Fantastic.
yes, sir. And one more thing I would like to add is that reading just helps only so much. You also have to practice sample papers. I'm sure everyone has told you this before, but set a timer of 2 or 3 hours depending on what paper that is, and then just answer the questions as you would on the actual exam. So that after that, when you flip back and look at the answer key and grade yourself, you know exactly what mistakes you're going to do in the exam so that you can prevent it. And on the CISE.org website, there's a pupils analysis section documents in which the past year's papers of students have been analyzed, and the mistakes and what kind of model answers are expected have been given down in great detail. Those helped me most of all in the final stage of my preparation.
So, students and parents, that's Akshaya telling you how you can rock your exams. Akshaya, Nirmala has a question for you, and she says she wants to know how you are managing with the VIBGYOR ACE program. What are your thoughts about it, and how actually are you coping with it? Because after all, that VIBGYOR ACE program is supposed to ace you for your competitive exams.
Okay, so the program is really, really good. Like in the beginning, the transition from 10th to 11th, of course, with every other school and program, there's a bit, you have to cope up a bit because the syllabus becomes a bit heavier in 11th grade. But after a few days, the teachers and the program, they were all really good and they helped us come back on track. And now it's just going on smoothly.
Fantastic. And as you said, as you have said, the teachers are all highly qualified and the faculty is absolutely excellent.
Yes, sir, they are.
Yeah. Okay. Um, any more questions? Right? Um, yes. Uh, how Siddhant is asking. Okay, Siddhant, I get your point. This is something which I think even I was having a lot of FOMO in your young language, Gen Z language, when I was in school and college. Akshay, how did you cope with numericals in physics?
Oh my
And how
God,
do you still cope with them?
I could tell a story about that. Like,
We'll hear it.
I used to hate numericals. In the beginning of 10th grade, I used to dread numericals because, after after 8th and 9th, they suddenly shift from theoretical physics to numerical physics, and every second question is a numerical. So then I used to dread them. I used to lose marks there. But then, before the first pre board, like the first prelim that happened in November, I had a question bank which had around like 80 to 90 questions from all the subjects that covered all the types of questions. So I just solved them. I mean, I couldn't solve them all, obviously. If I didn't know them, I saw this a solution. I figured out what logic they use to solve each kind of numerical, such as like you have different chapters like work, power, energy, and it's all basic. It's not scary actually. It looks scary. It was scary to me as well. But then after you start analyzing the different kind of questions they ask, you know that you'll realize that most of the questions fall under certain categories. And once you know all the formulas and how to solve them, numericals becomes the best thing.
This is so amazing. From the worst thing to the best thing, and all it needed was Akshaya to be self motivated, right? And once you could do that, you went all the way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think Akshaya, that's it. You've really, really, really been a great help. Wait, there's another question coming up, right? Um, how does one improve maths and science in the last month? So here's somebody who is quite like me, good in SST, good in languages, and talking about how could we improve maths and science in this last remaining month. Akshaya, go ahead and tell them.
So well, it actually depends on what you want to improve. So I would say like in generally based on ICSE maths and science, I know the syllabus is heavy compared to other boards, but what you need to do is you still have a month. Like if in case you don't like understand the concepts, read it, don't memorize it. And the numericals, like I said, you have to practice the numericals. And in maths and physics, all those subjects which have a lot of formulas, make a formula sheet and see that every day. Because once you know the formulas, then you can move on to improve yourself on the problem solving part. And then you have to keep revising it every few days, because once you read it, you tend to forget most of the information after a few days. Revise, recall, and then if you have doubts, ask them immediately, get them clear. Don't worry, it's all right, even if the doubts sound silly.
Okay, so I like that last part because sometimes we are so reserved and we listen to our mind telling us, hey, this is a silly doubt. This is a silly doubt. You look silly if you ask it. But Akshaya says, go ahead and ask it. Am I right, Akshaya?
Yes, sir, no doubt is silly.
Amazing. Okay, Vivekanand is asking, which sample papers are good for practice in different subjects?
Okay, so the sample papers first, past 10 years papers, like this is 2024 batch. So from around 2014, 2015, you will get a booklet. You have many publications which release the sample papers for all the subjects. The past boards paper, that is the main thing you need to do. And also on the CISE.org website, there are sample papers which the council releases for every single year. Those also help. And like if you additionally want something, go for prelim papers of other schools. You can, I think they will share it with you if you ask them, but prelim papers of other schools really helps, because prelim questions are asked on a tougher level, and if you're prepared for that, you're prepared for anything.
Terrific. I think this is amazing. It's really, and I mean, the questions are just pouring in now. Uh, how do you remember dates in history?
Oh my God, that's a hard question because I used to struggle with that. And let me tell you, we had a list. So first, make the list. I mean, if they give it to you or you make it yourself, you see in the book there are some important dates, such as the Jallianwala Bagh tragedy. Those dates, just write it down. And the only thing I can say about this is that read it, maybe correlate it with something else that happened. For example, 13th April is someone's birthday, so say, oh, that's when Jallianwala Bagh happened. Do something like that, because with memorization, that,
Correlation.
that helps.
Okay.
Correlation.
Carry on, carry on.
Okay, so like you have to revise the date list again, because memory keeps becoming like faint after a while. And since it is purely a memory based subject, and you will have to revise it a few times. I mean, I struggled with that, so this is what I learned in 10th.
Okay, Akshaya, one more question coming up, and that how did you manage not to forget things? I like that
Very good
question.
question.
That's so me.
I mean, that's relatable. That's very relatable because during prelims, I used to forget a lot. And especially, those late night study cram sessions which everyone has and then says, oh, I stayed up till 1. I used to do that a lot in prelims, and that made me forget stuff because brains are not wired to study for that long. So, what I did for boards, the 1 month before the boards which we have now, like which you guys have now, is really, really useful. Go through the syllabus, solve papers. And the thing about solving papers is that if you solve them, you remember the information even better than if you just read the stuff. And on the morning of the exam, since our exams start at 11 a.m. generally, I would have time till 9 a.m. to do some last minute revision, notes, and my textbook. I used to highlight the important points, and on the morning I would flip through the entire textbook so that I would get a fresh recall of everything.
So last minute studying even helps.
Revision.
Great, last minute revision. Okay. Now, there is a question here which may sound vague, but we've just said no question is silly. I love this question. How to avoid distraction?
How to avoid distraction? Again, a very good question. That depends on what your distractions are. Like for most of us, that might be social media or playing games. Like when you hear kids playing downstairs and you think, oh, I wish I could go there. So, the main thing is what I used to do is I used to think we have 1 month left, and after that, we can do anything we want. You just think this exam is very important. And once you realize that after it gets over, you will have all the liberty to pursue your hobbies and play down and eat ice cream or whatever, then that will give you the strength to avoid those distractions. And social media is a big distraction. I just uninstalled Instagram for the last 1 month.
Okay, great. So that's a message for you guys who are asking all these questions. Social media is a huge distraction. Uninstall the social media apps in the last 1 month. I
I
hope you
mean,
got your answer.
that depends on you. Like, if you can manage without uninstalling it, good for you, or else that's what I did.
Great. Okay, Vijay is asking, what about geography with maps, topography, and how much did you get in social studies, SST, Akshaya?
In geography, I got 99 and history was 100.
History 100, geography 99. Okay, we did not talk about that. So, Vijay, Akshaya is going to reply to you. How did she manage maps and topography questions in geography?
Okay, so in geography, maps and topography, again, I used to be scared of topography in the beginning because it's new to us. We have all these map analysis questions, but the thing is, you will come across many solution booklets. I'm not sure whether you have them already, but our school gave us the solution booklet with 20 topography sheets with their answers and then 20 practice sheets in the back. So I used to do one per day, and after that, again, I realized the pattern that many questions follow the same kind of trend. It's not 100 questions, it's just 100 questions following 10 different trends. It's not completely different. Like, for example, they ask you the drainage pattern, the settlement pattern, and once you have solved a few questions of those, you will start noticing the trends too. And coming to map again, practice just see it once and then solve it on map. May have many printouts of the India map so that you can solve places. Write a list of places, and without looking at the map, try to mark it properly as you would on the actual exam. Doing that a few times will automatically give you that memory, and then you'll be able to do it on the exam as well.
Terrific. So, guys, you're getting it from somebody, you're getting it from someone who's been there and done that, right? Okay. Akshaya, now the transition from 10th to 11th. Wow. Now, 11th to prep. Tell us something about how are you planning that? I'm taking you a little bit into the future.
11th to 12th.
11th to 12th and 12th to prep.
Oh, so 11th
Yes.
and 12th are similar. So maybe this year I will feel it's the same. And again, I will have pre-boards again and boards, so I might need to work harder for that. Means
Yes.
11th was kind of like a kind of chillier, I guess, because I know there's coaching and all that, but compared to 12th, I was a bit more chill. Next year, I will have to gear up again, and I plan to do that very soon.
Yeah, for your competitive exams, right?
And that as well.
And that as well. So, VIBGYOR ACE is going to ace your competitive exams for you.
Yes.
Okay. So, let me tell you, Akshaya, I mean, for all of us, this has been a fantastic and an awesome, enlightening session. Coffee with Akshaya is definitely the best that we could have. And now, guys, I promised you um, something about the next week. I said the suspense. So, drum roll, please. The moment you've been waiting for is here. First of all, a big, big, big thank you to Akshaya. And then it's time to unveil the grand finale of suspense. You are joining us again for another thrilling session. Same time, same place, next Sunday. Don't miss out on the rendezvous with an ace dietitian helping you guys in acing your diet and timetable. Thank you, Akshaya. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
God bless
everyone.
you all.
Add something?
Yes, Akshaya, definitely do add something. We want it from you.
I actually host a podcast which is for you ICSE students. It is called ICSE Trailblazers. It's on YouTube and Spotify, where I release videos every week giving tips like these and other things that helped me get 99.6. And it would be awesome if you guys could check it out. It will help you a lot.
So you've got it from Akshaya. Yes. And as I said, next week, don't miss the ACE dietitian helping you guys in acing your diet and timetable. Until then, stay curious, sip on. Thank you, Akshaya. Thank you guys for joining in.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. All the best, everyone.